Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. Well, it's Sunday. The stock market's actually closed today, but it is one of my favorite days to look at the portfolio, take a look at how we're doing with some of our journeys. This one I've kind of let fall off the radar. It's been about 4 months since we've updated it, so I figured it's time we jump in and we take a look at how long it's taking for our four horses to get to house money. So we made a video on this. Gosh, when was it? Yeah, you can see here about 4 months ago. And that was part 2 of the series. And the series is we bought 100 shares of NVDY, CONY, MSTY, and TSLY. We've purchased some of them recently, some of them almost 2 years ago. And we've just been setting and forgetting these 100 shares, collecting the dividend income each and every single month, not reinvesting any of it in a race to get to house money. And what I mean by house money, which is if you're a dividend investor, one of the best things you can get to. It's where, let's say you spend $1,000 to buy 100 shares, you get all $1,000 back via dividends. And from there, we are playing with house money and everything from there is gravy. So it's been 4 months since we've updated it and we've collected a truckload of dividends. You can kind of see where the dividends have been coming in. The powerhouse, and you're probably not shocked, has been MSTY. We purchased this one the latest out of all the assets, so we're actually pretty far from getting to house money, but I still believe in the journey, and I've been thinking of adding another YieldMax one to the journey. You'll have to let me know which one you should think, but you probably could guess it from all the clips you've been seeing on YouTube as of late, which one is looking really good at a buy price. So NVDY, we made $295 since the last time we updated the series. CONY, $537, MSTY, $779. TSLY 267, and we are in the green when it comes to total returns. And with total returns, I'm talking about the stock market, the stock and what the value is on it, whether it's positive or negative, plus the amount of dividends we've received to get the actual total return. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look at the account, full transparency as always. Let's look at some of the dividends that have come in. I have it all in the spreadsheet as well, but I just want to show where we're at here. And then obviously next week we have some more moves that we're going to be making. This is the dividend account that we are trading in. You guys are probably familiar with it. We have about $45,000 worth of buying power. Our options expired worth is just like we planned on Friday. And so we'll sell some new options as well. And we'll keep buying more stocks. So this is where we're sitting. I'll just zoom out here real quick for anybody that's new here. 27% for the last year, 44% all time, up $13,000. And mostly we are just trading super high yield dividend stocks right now. We're just getting more and more shares each and every single week, and we might add some more to this. So these are the four we're talking about. We have about $1,700 in NVDY at today's market value, CONY 983, MSTY 2200, and then TSLY 768. So when you look at the dividends, you have to keep that in mind because some of these assets cost more, so they may be yielding a higher dividend or yielding a lower dividend depending on that. So that's where we're sitting. If we just look at the actual total return when it comes to the stock, this is what I'm talking about, right? So NVDY is down 638, CONY is down 614, MSTY is down 744, and TSLY is down 869. And I can already hear it, everybody saying NAV. These things are just getting NAV to the ground. You're right, they are. They totally are. But the total return is still up, and that's all that matters to me as of right now. But yeah, these are all going down, right? So every time they pay a dividend, they pull it out of the stock price, and these are getting NAV down. If you look at, let's say, take NVDY, you look at year to date, it's down 26%. The past year, it's down 38%, and then past 5 years, down 13%. But if we look at this, right, we're down 638 here, but then you come down here and you look at the dividends. You can see, let me just, $67, 162, 67, 78, 161, 82, 90, 90, 74, 80, 97, 84, 106, 101, 45. You get the picture, right? We've been collecting all the way since July of 2023. So we are coming up on 2 years being invested in NVDY. Obviously, when we started, we only had 15 shares, right? And we scaled up over time. We got to 100 shares. We were still only at 42 shares back here in July of 2024. And then obviously we're at 100 shares now. But just to kind of show you, that doesn't tell a full picture when you look at these funds. Somehow I wish that there was a way that they could include it in here. But We're down here, market value 1740, but let's look at the actual total picture when it comes to these individual funds, right? So I have the spreadsheet. You guys probably know it. These red boxes here are when we did the last video, so it's been quite a while. Since January or February, right? Mostly February. And we've collected a lot of dividends since then. In fact, since then, we've collected 879, so $1,880 worth of dividends since we made the last video. And we're looking really good, right? So we just had our TSLY payout that came in on Friday. We have MVDY coming this month and CONY coming this month. And then we'll start next month in August with another payout from MSTY. A lot of them really have been trending down, but I want to look at the picture. So 100 shares of each, right? You can see my cost basis at the top, and then I want you to look at the total dividends received. So 1,721 from NVDY, 1,388 from CONY, MSTY 1,821, and TSLY 1,056. So the first thing you can see here is all these are four figures, right? And we're getting really, really close. So NVDY, we only have $665 worth of dividends left. Just taking the average payout that we've gotten each month, we're about 5.46 months, which puts us on pace to be completely paid out and to house money by the end of 2025, which will be phenomenal. CONY, a similar picture, actually even better because we've been in CONY for a long, long time. Let me pull the dividend account back up. I'm actually curious. I can't remember. I feel like we got into this one super, super early. Let me go back to the very, very start. Yeah, our first buy was in August of 2023. So similar thing here. It's been 2 years that we've been on this journey with CONY, and we're getting so close, right? Only $208 left. If we stay above the average, it's possible that we get there in 2 months. Right now, we're average to 1.54 months. The last payout on CONY was only 54. The one prior to that, 74. The one prior to that, 65. So the averages have been coming down. Obviously, those first bunch of months when we were getting $1 to 250, it was super, super juicy. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Coin has been performing really well as of late. And it's possible that we get there in the next 2 months. Worst case scenario I'm seeing on this one, maybe 3 months if we're only averaging, 50. But Bitcoin's at $119,000. Coin has been absolutely ripping, trading at about 387, which is close to all-time highs for the stock. And so it's possible that we're going to get there with that. Total return on NVDY, 45%. Total return on CONY, 48%. And that's with today's value. And that is even factoring in, for example, CONY being down 614 on my shares, right? So we're about 86% of the way to being completely paid back on CONY. MSTY, similar picture here, but we got into this one much later. We still have about 4.5 months to get break even on MSTY if we hold the $2.47 average payout that we've been getting. Recently we got paid, let's look at it, $1.23, $1.47. So the last two payouts have been subpar. The one prior to that was $2.37, which was nice, but I'm guessing this average is going to keep coming down. So it may be a longer journey on MSTY than what we're seeing here at the 4.5 months. But still, I think by the end of 2025, we're going to be looking pretty good and a lot of risk is going to be off the table. And then TSLY, this one's underperformed all of them. This stock has not done very good when it comes to NAV erosion and collecting premiums. And that's probably just because it's so volatile, but the IV is not very high. So the premiums just don't match the volatility in my personal opinion. So they probably had a rough time trading the calls on it. And we have about $613 left to break even on this one. So we're averaging about $1 payout a month. The last ones have been super, super low. We saw that with the payout that just came in about just under $40 for last month. But yeah, it's possible. So we're at 5.78 months. This is the longest one here. I'm guessing this one's probably going to take us 7 or 8 more months to get break even on. But still, we're only talking about $613 left. So that's the lowest. That's the lowest of all of them, right? So we went from 45% total return on MBDY, CONY 48%, MSTY 36.6%, and then TSLY at 11.23%. So they all still have a positive total return. Albeit TSLY is absolutely just getting destroyed, and I have a really high cost basis there. Unfortunately, I believe I picked up my last bit, I can actually double check. I believed I picked up like a majority of my shares when we had that massive run back in January, December. Let me look. Let me just go to the history here. And so I believe that's why I'm not looking very good here. Yeah, right there. So you can see January 15th, I bought 46 shares at $14.27. A terrible market timing on that one. I thought Tesla was going to continue to rip with Donald Trump in presidency. But as we've seen, it has not gone that way. And so it is what it is. We're just going to keep collecting. We're going to keep getting our money back. Before that purchase, we were getting close to break even on the 50 shares that I did have. But it is what it is. So we just keep grinding. So full transparency, as always, these actually look really, really good. As a dividend investor, this is where you want to be. You want to be to house money. And let's look at the average. So if we just take the average out of all these, we have $2,611 left to pay off all 400 of these shares. We are averaging between the four of these $437 a month. And it'll take us just under 6 months to pay off all four of them on average. Now, obviously, some of them are going to do better. Some of them are going to do worse. Some of them are going to pay off earlier. Some of them are going to pay off later. But this at least gives you an average. And I took that from January all the way to June. We took the averages. Once July's over, we'll get some new averages there. But this at least gives the picture there, right? So that's where we're sitting in the account as of right now. That is my house money journey. You can see here, full transparency, every single dividend we've received in this account since we started this channel. And this is the average. This is the data that I used when it comes to the averages, right? So if we use all the way to June's data right here, you can see all the Coney payments, all the NVDY, all the MSTY, and all the TSLY, with June being 40, May being 76, April being 65, March being 46, February being 57, and January being 71. So TSLY is dragging us down when it comes to averages, but still, we are slowly but surely getting towards house money. This is part 3 of the series. If you guys want me to keep a better update on this, I can do that. But yeah, it's kind of fallen off the radar, but it is important because house money is always a goal as a dividend investor, because after that, we have reduced our risk really to zero for the most part when I look at it. But yeah, thanks everybody. As always, special quick video here. Don't forget to drop a like. If you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. I'm only 500 off 10,000, and more than half of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so I really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you next video.